Hey everyone, it's Heather Nichols for Tailored Expressions, and I have holiday projects to share with you created with the new Peaceful Dove Stamp and Stencil combo set and coordinating die. The Peaceful Dove Stamp and Stencil combo set features a dove with a leafy design all around it. This will fill up an A2 card front, along with 3 stencils to add a design inside the dove. The Peaceful Dove die coordinates with the Stamp and Stencil combo set, but it's not intended to cut out the design on the stamp. You can use the stencils to add the design to the die-cut dove. For sentiments on the projects I'm creating today, I'm using the Foil at Merriest Christmas panels along with the coordinating dies. I'm foiling the sentiments with gold Deco foil using my mini Minc machine and the Foil Magic Shim. I'm cutting out the background panels for my cards using the A2 Layer Stacklets die collection. For ink colors, I'm using Toffee and Honey, Cherry Pop and Mulled Wine, Avocado and Olive, and then I have coordinating blender brushes. I'm adding sparkle using Happy Medium Gold Glitter along with my Nuvo Media Spatula. I have pixie spray to hold my stencils in place. For splatters, I'm using a water brush with Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White ink and Chocolate Truffle Liquid Watercolor. For even more sparkle, I have gold glitter drops. And then finally, I'm using multi-medium matte and a few different foam adhesives. To start things off, I am stamping the background from the Peaceful Dove Stamp and Stencil combo set onto sugar cube cardstock. I'll set up the stamp in my MISTI using the grid paper to lay it out for an A2 horizontal card, and then I'll close the lid of the MISTI to pick up the stamp. I'll add a bit of adhesive onto the grid paper to hold my piece of cardstock in place since this is a full background stamp. I inked up the stamp with Toffee ink and then closed the lid of the MISTI to stamp onto the cardstock. I also stamped the background on Toffee Cardstock with Toffee ink and on Olive Cardstock with Olive ink. For 2 of the cards I'm sharing today, I'm using the Peaceful Dove die cut and I'm cutting that out of Sugar Cube cardstock. Now I'm going back to the background that I stamped on Sugar Cube cardstock and I'm going to add the design to the dove using the 3 stencils. In the lower right corner of the stencils, there is a product code with a -1, 2, or 3, and that's the suggested order of stenciling the design. And then there also is an outline of the dove etched into the stencil to help you line everything up. I like to spray a thin layer of pixie spray on the back of my stencils to hold them in place, and we'll start with the first stencil, and this one I am going to use my blender brush to apply avocado ink, and then I'll add a little bit of shading with olive ink. For the second stencil layer, I'm adding color with cherry pop ink, along with a little bit of shading with mulled wine ink. For the third stencil layer, I'm using honey ink, and then without removing the stencil, I'll add a layer of the Happy Medium Gold Glitter using my Nuvo Media Spatula. Removing this last layer reveals the completed design, complete with the extra sparkle from the Happy Medium. The stencils coordinate with the Peaceful Dove die. There are details on the die that cut into the cardstock, and these details coordinate with the stencil design. I added the stencil design to the die-cut dove using the same colors and Happy Medium Gold Glitter like I did on the stamped background. I'll set both the dove and the stamped background aside until the Happy Medium has dried completely. Next, I cut out the sentiments from a Foil at Merriest Christmas panel with the coordinating dies. To foil my sentiments, I started off by getting my mini Minc heated up to a level 3. I chose a few of the sentiments to use for my projects and decided to foil them with gold Deco foil. I had some scraps that I cut to fit the sentiments, and then I added them onto my Foil Magic Shim with the foil on top of the sentiments pretty side up. I added this into the carrier and sent it through my mini Minc machine. I gave everything a few seconds to cool and then peeled off the foil to reveal the foiled sentiments. Next, I took all of the stamped backgrounds and cut them out with the die from the A2 Layer Stacklets die collection. I added splatters to all of my backgrounds. You'll notice that I used an additional die cut to mask off the stenciled dove on the one background. I splattered the backgrounds using Chocolate Truffle Liquid Watercolor and Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White ink. Now it's time to put these cards together. I used foam adhesive to add the stenciled dove to the toffee background, and then I added the other Peaceful Dove die cut that I cut out to the olive background. Next, I added each of the background panels to a card base using the 1x3 thin foam strips. The background stamped with toffee ink are added to olive card bases, and the remaining background is added to a toffee card base. I chose sentiments for each of the cards and then added them to the cards with foam adhesive. And then for even more sparkle and shine, I added gold glitter drops scattered across each card design, adhering them in place with multi-medium matte. Here's a look at all of the cards that I created using the Peaceful Dove Stampin' Stencil combo set, along with the coordinating Peaceful Dove die. I also created a few coordinating tags using a few of the Peaceful Dove dies that I stenciled designs onto. I stacked up a few additional die cuts to add sturdiness. I put an eyelet at the top with some burlap twine and added a foil sentiment to each of the doves. I hope you enjoyed learning how I created all of the projects that I shared today with the Peaceful Dove collection, and hopefully you picked up a little inspiration for your holiday crafting. You can find the supplies that I used to create these projects in the Tailored Expressions web store at tailoredexpressions.com. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our crafty videos. Thanks for joining me today, everybody, and I'll see you next time.